You won the Cape Cod League championship along with Zach Neto, who's the Angel shortstop right now. What was that team like for you, and how were you guys so gelled together that season? And how has this place helped you along on your baseball journey through the draft and through the Yankees minor league system? And what would be probably your favorite moment here with the Whitecaps? Would it be winning that championship title, or will it be just something else that off the field that's not as popularized as most people think? This defense played a scrappy second half, holding this Mountain View offense that did really well in the second quarter to get back in this game. What were the adjustments that you made to get to this win tonight? On the sideline, I saw a lot of passion from this team, sticking together. Even when you guys were down, you guys stuck together. How much is that testament to your coaching and these kids buying into this program? You guys go back home to play Gilbert at your home ground. How are you going to try and take this momentum back with you to Jim Jones Field? Now to the NBA. The shorthanded Suns face the Boston Celtics tonight, and it's been a carousel of injury management for this team as players have missed a combined 120 games this season. Devin Booker is out once again, this time with a hip injury. Booker has missed a total of 14 games this season. Dylan Brooks is now out with a broken hand. He's only missed 6 games so far, but is expected to be out for 4 to 6 weeks. Lastly, Jalen Green has missed the most at 48 games. For this trio, they've only played 6 games together. Despite it all, Suns GM Brian Gregory gives credit to Jordan Ott for keeping the team competitive. Thanks, Andrew. This season, Arizona State volleyball continues to be one of the most successful teams, not just in the Big 12, but in the entire country. Currently, the Sun Devils sit at the 8th spot of the AVCA rankings with a 19-3 overall record and a 10-1 conference record. However, it hasn't always been smooth sailing for Sparky. 2 of those losses came against the then number 9 ranked Pitt Panthers and then number 2 ranked Texas Longhorns. Both teams are considered to be volleyball powerhouses that consistently make deep runs in the NCAA tournament. And that one conference loss I mentioned, that came against the unranked Iowa State Cyclones in 5 sets on Halloween. In fact, you're going to have to go back to September 27th of last season to find the Sun Devils' last conference loss, where they were defeated by the then number 19 ranked Baylor Bears in 4 sets. Now, let's face it, head coach J.J. Van Niel knows how to build a winning culture in Tempe. There's a reason why he signed a contract extension to stay as the man in charge until 2029. He's amassed a 77-13 record. He took the Sun Devils to back-to-back NCAA tournament appearances, and he secured the first conference title in the team's history. But regardless of those accolades, the Maroon and Gold have not had the same amount of success in the postseason as they have in the regular season. They lost in the Sweet 16 in 2023 to the number 1 seeded Stanford Cardinal and got bounced in the second round last season by the number 6 seeded Texas A&M Aggies. So for this team to be considered as one of the top powerhouses in the country, the first thing they need to do is win the remaining games on its schedule. They have a big test coming up tonight against the number 21 ranked BYU Cougars in the second game of a 3-game stretch at Desert Financial Arena. Next week, they go on the road next Saturday to face the Colorado Buffaloes, who have the best chance of dethroning the Devils as conference champs this season. If ASU can do that and defend the Big 12 title, they have to go on a deep run in the Big Dance, or else they will leave its dancing shoes behind and only be considered as a regular season threat. Back to you guys at the desk. Stepping into the Hall of Fame Museum of Firefighting in Phoenix is like stepping back in time. Established in 1961, the museum teaches the public about fire safety and prevention. One exhibit at the museum honors the intersection of firefighting and baseball. The person in the middle of that intersection, Alexander Joy Cartwright, a 19th century New York City firefighter who was widely considered for being the father of baseball. The connection between baseball and firefighting doesn't just stop with Cartwright. In fact, the Hall of Fame Museum is located right next to Phoenix Municipal Stadium, the current home of the Arizona State Sun Devils baseball team. As it turns out, ASU baseball and other prominent baseball figures here in Arizona help contribute to this exhibit. The Hall of Fame Museum is home to all kinds of artifacts dedicated to the long history of firefighting, from antique fire trucks to modern displays like a fire truck that was used to help respond to the 9/11 tragedy in New York City. This exhibit celebrates 2 All-American traditions and how Alex Cartwright helped blaze a trail on the diamond and in the firehouse. In Phoenix, Rome Kadi, Cronkite News. Back here at Phoenix Municipal Stadium, 7-0 lead for the Arizona State Sun Devils. After a 4-run bottom half of the 6th inning, blew this game open from a 3-0 lead to a 7-0 lead as we go back to the top of the order in Landon Hairston. First pitch to him is a fastball outside for a ball. New pitcher into the game as well
For the LMU Lions, it's Zachary Den-Decker, the 6'8" righty, 215 pounds, junior righty out of Mission Viejo, California.
That is a gorgeous area of California. Oh, my goodness.
The 1-0 to Hairston is yanked outside over the reach of Jordan Ortiz, the catcher. Went all the way over to the backstop, and a lot of groans from the ASU crowd on that pitch.
We're getting some big relievers in tonight. 6'7" Fitzpatrick, 6'8" Den-Decker.
Hairston hits this one high and deep to right center field, and you can kiss that one goodbye.
Woo!
Landon Hairston continues his hot stretch on this year. That's his 4th home run and 18th RBI on the year. It's 8-0 Sun Devils. 5 on the floor for Arizona State. Mukeba, Mayusin, Pig Johnson, Mo Odom, and Andrea Gribovich. And now Haggerty, Castillo, McGriff, Rupiek, and Bashir on the floor for Kansas State. 15:35 left in the second half. 51-45 your score. Kansas State has a 6-point lead. Once again, ASU lining up in that press defense, trying to get the Wildcats off guard here on this inbounds play. Whistle has not been blown yet. Still trying to wait on some action here. Now we'll get a whistle. The inbound play comes in. Now Rupiek on the bounce pass from Castillo. Gives that towards McGriff. McGriff now back out to Rupiek. Trying to cross half-court line, giving it out to Castillo, and they will cross half-court. Castillo on the right wing, trying to shake and bake past Gribovich. Now back out to top of the key. Gribovich now to Abdi Bashir, working on a Castillo screen. Giving out to Rupiek, the big forward. Trying to get a cut towards Haggerty. Gets the pass anyway. He gets stripped away by Pig Johnson. And he'll take it up the court on the right side. Now he'll back out on the right wing. Now he'll drive on McGriff. Try to get the reverse layup. But that one is a foul call on McGriff, it looked like. And Pig Johnson will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws.
And Pig Johnson's been doing well when he cuts towards the left lane. He's getting his right hand up for the layup instead of his left, essentially drawing contact. And even though it's sending him towards ground, it's a little bit more direct. And once again, it sends him to the line, which is something he's done a lot today.
And as we said before, Pig Johnson, one of the top free throw shooters in the Big 12. When he shoots well at the line, ASU wins their games. It's been the storyline for him throughout this season. As Johnson lets go of the first attempt. He'll rattle that one in. Pig Johnson, the senior guard out of Midfield, Alabama, averaging just under 15 points a game on 47.7% shooting and just over 34% from 3. And he's the NAIA transfer from the University of Cumberland. It's very rare you get an NAIA transfer to D1, but it shows just how good of a player he's been in the last couple years. Second free throw is up and good for Pig Johnson. Now cuts the lead to 6 now. Taj Manning for Kansas State on the baseline. Getting a bounce pass over towards Haggerty. Now back out to Manning on the far side. Manning cutting across the pitchfork logo. Hands it out towards Bashir on the right wing. Now he'll cut across the Manning screen with Gribovich guarding. Bashir trying to shake it big. Step back 3 off front rim. Tipped around and rebounded by Pig Johnson. He'll take it away. Johnson on the break. Lost the handle. Moen will retrieve it now. Mayusin wide open look for 3. He'll knock it down with ease. So now the score is 51-50. A big time 3 from Mayusin gets back in the game. Now Haggerty for K-State. Trying to push the pace up quickly here. We'll slow it down. Getting across the Manning screen. Now gets doubled. You have to Doreen Buka. Now to Castillo. Castillo. Crowd chaining defense will be a foul call on the floor. It will go against Arizona State, it looked like, on that play. K-State will take it out.
It seemed like it just based off how ASU was moving in the screens, and it seemed like it was a little bit too close. Pig Johnson called for the foul. He's up to 3 today.
Now giving it out to Buka on the baseline is Haggerty. Now Haggerty gets it back on the handoff. Haggerty driving on Mayusin. Gets across the top of the key. He'll float it up, and he'll get a foul call there. It looked like he tried to get True to fly by, and instead he draws the foul and goes to the line to shoot 2 free throws.
And we saw Haggerty do that earlier in the second half, but he was called for the travel. This time, he gets the success he wants, and it's once again another fake out. Truitt trying to commit towards the block, and ASU, even though they've done well to stymie this Kansas State side. It hasn't been perfect down low.
Haggerty's first free throw is up and good. Haggerty, the 6'4" junior guard out of Crosby, Texas, just shooting under 22 or just under 23 points per game. The Memphis transfer won Big 12 Player of the Week in late November and is top 4 in the country in points per game. Second free throw rattles out, but that'll be a foul call against Kansas State. It'll be Arizona State basketball.
Yeah, that was just an interesting play between Gribovich and Manning, and even though it wasn't in the lane, it seemed like Manning got a little bit too handsy with Gribovich.
Odom dishes out to Pig Johnson, now back out to Odom. Across the Pitchfork logo. Now on the right wing, just trying to slow the pace down a little bit, trying to get a half-court play here. Now handing it off to Truitt. Dishes off towards Pig Johnson. Now getting out to Gribovich on the top of the key. Now back out to Odom on the right wing. Jabs driving on Castillo. Nice cut pass to Johnson. Reverse lefty layup is good. And now it's a tie ball game once again. 52 all with 13:41 left in the second half. PJ Haggerty now for K-State. Working on Mayusin. Crosses past him. Tries to get the layup to go. And he'll get it to go plus the foul. And he is hyping up the Wildcats bench and gives the Wildcats the 2-point lead with 13:33 left in the second half.